Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, and I am the Dream Decipherer, and I help you to crack the code of your sleep and dreams so you can sleep sound and dream deep. This evening, I'll be presenting part two of my nutrition and sleep series, which looks at the roles of vitamins and minerals too on sleep and the impact that vitamins and minerals will have on sleep. Now, eh, people generally don't think about restless nights in relationship to what they're eating, and but it could very well be that your restless nights are down to what you put in your gut. And there are various things that we can do in terms of diet that may be able to improve our ability to sleep. So let's find out a little bit about what vitamins and some minerals can do. For example, with vitamin D, we all know that staying out of the sun depletes our vitamin D levels, especially here in Northern Europe in the wintertime, and that you need calcium for strong bones. But not very many people make the link between vitamin deficiency and poor sleep. Vitamins and minerals aren't just good for aren't essential for good health, but if you're not getting enough of them, you may not be sleeping well either. So certain nutrient deficiencies or insufficiencies, which insufficiency just means that it's not serious enough at a low level to actually be lacking in the body, but is low level. But these insufficiencies and deficiencies can play a big role, according to dietitians and for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And according to a neuroscientist by the name of Caroline Leaf, being stressed or having other mental health issues can actually prevent the body from absorbing nutrients, which will worsen not only our physical health, but our mental health as well, creating a vicious cycle. So you could say that the mind actually drives the digestive system. And if you think about it, when we're in flight or fight mode, the secondary processes like digestion stop because you need that energy to be put into muscles to either fight or flee. So the effectiveness of how much of nutrition we take in is very much controlled by our state of mind. One recommendation that Dr. Leifer has recommended was that adding more whole foods to your meals to help break this gut-brain anxiety cycle. Apparently, when it comes to mental health and sleep quality, taking vitamins is certainly not going to be a cure-all, and it's easy to overdose on vitamins. Yes, you can actually overdose on vitamins, which can worsen sleep and will not actually impact any underlying mental health conditions. So there are several vitamins and minerals that could possibly be missing from your diet, or you're not getting sufficient amounts of in your diet, that could be causing or contributing to poor sleep. So let's take a look at a few of them. The first is vitamin C, which isn't just good for fighting colds. It can help lower stress hormones and fight symptoms of stress like sickness and poor sleep. In a 2015 study published in the Nigerian Journal of Physiological Sciences, it was found that vitamin C can actually reduce the levels of the stress hormone cortisol, help improve stress tolerance, and combat sleep deprivation. And on its own, or in combination with other antioxidants, vitamin C has also been shown to improve the symptoms of obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, which is when during sleep, the breathing is stopped or interrupted for a time. In a 2009 study, it showed that a combination of 100 milligrams of vitamin C and 400 international units of vitamin E taken twice daily actually reduced the symptoms of sleep apnea. And this combination of vitamin C and E also improved sleep quality and decreased daytime sleepiness. You can get in sources of vitamin C, of course, include citrus fruits such as oranges, but you can also get it from eating kale, broccoli, bell peppers, and an English favorite, strawberries. And calcium is an important mineral, which is associated with problems of falling asleep. It could be because calcium helps the brain to use the amino acid called tryptophan, which contributes to making melatonin, which is an important sleep hormone. In a 2015 study published in the Journal of Sleep Research, it was found that people with normal levels of calcium found it easier to fall asleep than those who were deficient in calcium levels. And this effect may possibly be due to the fact that calcium actually lowers the blood pressure, which during sleep, as our body slows down, processes like blood pressure and the heart rate will actually slow down. As calcium also helps produce the production of melatonin, it may be why foods high in calcium, such as dairy, could easily make us feel more sleepy. Another important vitamin is vitamin B12, and here it must be noted that vegans and vegetarians in particular are prone to having low levels or deficiencies in vitamin B12 because it mostly is found in animal products. But vitamin B12 deficiency has been linked to insomnia, depression, and sleep issues. And in a 2019 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, it was noted that it can also make you feel tired during the day. Vitamin B12 is important for brain function and supports cardiovascular health, including the formation of red blood cells, and it supports DNA activity. While several studies have been done which show that this vitamin is involved in regulating our day sleep-wake cycles or circadian rhythm by helping to keep this rhythm in its natural sync. But at the same time, the influence of vitamin B12 directly on sleep isn't actually known. And while there's some studies show a connection between low vitamin B12 levels and insomnia, others show that higher levels of vitamin B12 are actually linked to sleep disruption and shorter sleep times. So the jury is still out on that one. More research needs to be done. Another important mineral is magnesium. And nutrients such as magnesium, zinc, and certain amino acids help our brains to settle down and get quiet. So not getting sufficient amounts of these nutrients can actually make it difficult to sleep well. Magnesium deficiency has been linked to poor sleep, anxiety, and depression, which can worsen the insomnia. And increasing levels of magnesium can help lower the chance of falling asleep during the day, according to a 2018 study. Magnesium, as it happens, is often recommended to patients with anxiety or depression, but we can all do with magnesium in our diet, and you can find it in dark leafy greens, nuts and seeds, and my favorite, dark chocolate. Another important vitamin is vitamin B6, which, like calcium, helps the body to convert tryptophan into serotonin, which not only regulates our mood, it also helps with melatonin levels. So when we're deficient in vitamin B6, we suffer with poor sleep qualities, and studies have actually shown that participants who took a B6 supplement actually reported better sleep quality, as well as feeling more rested and refreshed when they woke up in the morning. You can find vitamin B6 in foods such as chickpeas or garbanzo beans, salmon, watermelon, and spinach. The next thing is, this is a hormone, but melatonin. The body naturally produces it, but factors like bright lights or diet can reduce the production of melatonin and make it harder to fall asleep at night. The most important thing you can do for this is to reduce your exposure to blue light, which comes from technology, such as smartphones, computers, tablets, etc. And you can also eat melatonin-rich foods like goji berries from Tibet. I think the latest foodies recommendation for good health, goji berries. Walnuts or pineapples can be helpful in boosting the production of melatonin. Now, I started this piece by mentioning vitamin D, and I've come back to it now. And vitamin D is mainly produced when we're out in the sun, and is only found in certain foods like fish and some dairy products. But a meta-analysis of various studies published back in 2018 found that vitamin D deficiency was also associated with sleep disorders, and that low levels of vitamin D can actually increase the risk of a sleep disorder. We know that vitamin D is essential for bone health, but it's also important for regulating our moods, supporting immune function, and helping to control inflammation. Vitamin D is receiving an increasing amount of interest for its potential in improving sleep, and to look at the consequences that result in sleep when we are deficient in vitamin D. There seems to be growing research showing that vitamin D affects just not only how much sleep we get, but how well we sleep. And a recent study found that vitamin D deficiency was linked to shorter sleep duration, and also found that the links between insufficient sleep and lack of vitamin D to be especially strong in adults age 50 and older, who are an age group which is known for having increasing sleep problems and issues as they get older. In 2018, scientists in China actually analyzed the findings of several studies that looked at the role of vitamin D in sleep, and their analysis indicated that there were significant connections between low levels of vitamin D and poor sleep. There also seems to be a connection between vitamin D levels and increased risk of sleep apnea. A lack of vitamin D may also affect the severity of sleep apnea, with lower D levels linked to more severe cases of OSA, or obstructive sleep apnea, in several more recent studies. Vitamin D, it's thought, may help influence sleep by helping to regulate our circadian or sleep-awake clock. Light and darkness are the primary regulators of our bio clocks, our internal clocks, with sunlight being our single best source of vitamin D. And it seems that vitamin D may be a part of the mechanism by which sunlight helps keep our bioclocks on track. But other than sun exposures, especially this time of year when it's very few hours of daylight, you can get vitamin D through foods such as fatty fish and fish oils, egg yolks, as well as fortified foods like dairy and juice. Now, again, it has to be remembered that vegans and vegetarians may be deficient in some of these items because they're found generally in meat products. But so it's something that they really need to keep an eye on and make compensation for. Finally, we have a look at vitamin E, which was mentioned earlier. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant and helps maintain healthy cell function and protects cells from damage, particularly from the environment, from free radicals. It can also help support immune health. And it's these antioxidant capabilities of vitamin E, which may also help sleep and sleep-related problems. One effect of sleep deprivation is problems with memory. And during sleep, the brain processes memory and consolidates them. And when we're short on sleep, we can encounter problems with both short-term and longer-term memory recall. Vitamin E can offer protection for the health and function of the brain, and research indicates that this vitamin may also offer protection against memory impairment from sleep loss. In a 2012 study, it was found that vitamin E reduced memory loss in sleep-deprived rats. Yes, I know, we're a bit more complicated than rats, but nevertheless. And it seems that vitamin E appears to work by protecting the function of the hippocampus, an area deep in the brain that is critical to memory consolidation. Research has also shown that sleep deprivation is highly disruptive to the activity of the hippocampus. In other words, it can't do its thing when we're sleeping because we're not getting enough sleep, and it's leaving us with holes in our memory. Sleep apnea also may be improved by using vitamin E. People with sleep apnea often have low levels of vitamin E, and studies indicate that vitamin E, and particularly in combination with vitamin C and other antioxidants, can actually improve nighttime breathing and sleep quality in people with OSA. So there you have it. I expect you won't look at vitamins quite in the same way again in future, but you may want to look at your diet and see where you could perhaps be boosting your vitamin and mineral intake naturally. Foods would be best, but if that's not possible, then perhaps a supplement with these various minerals and vitamins. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a fantastic evening and a great week to come. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.